agree as a woman to allow me to make my points, and now you're going back on your agreement.
But I don't
Like I
want to
get,
hear
I
your I
get,
don't want to hear your
I get.
advertisement. I don't want to hear your advertisement. I want you to answer Ria's question. Why was it
Wanna-
okay for you not
you
to
don't want me
acknowledge
to answer.
Shanice's?
You wanna push a narrative, and this is the point that I'm making. If we're gonna have a
No, we do
conversation,
want you to answer. We just don't
listen,
want you to talk
listen.
circles.
But
It's a
but see, here's
simple
the thing.
answer.
You gotta let me land my plane. If we're gonna have an intellectual conversation, you gotta let me land my plane. That's the thing that I'm saying. We can't. Y'all are not listening to understand. Y'all are listening to be right. And if that's what we're gonna do, that's just not what I came to do. I thought we could have an intellectual conversation, which means you make your point and I make my point. If you still have questions, go ahead and I'll answer those questions.
Okay, so in an intellectual conversation, you can absolutely land your plane, but it also involves not talking circles around a question. Okay, so the
Right. Can I
question
say
was,
something real quick? Yeah, I think the issue is like when we ask you questions, you beat around the bush sometimes without just giving a direct answer.
Can I ask a question?
All right. So how do I give a direct answer to why
Like,
do you
okay, I'll give you
how
an
do no
I'll
no no
give
no
you
no
an
no 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 no
example.
no. I'm like,
Okay,
please
go
answer this
ahead.
to me. How do I give a direct answer to why did you make a girl sacrifice her sexual freedom? This, and that for you. What's the direct answer to that?
Okay, I'm not even just
Be-
speaking on that question. I'm just speaking in general and from things I've seen. Like when people ask you questions, like I think even
okay.
earlier someone asked you, why did you get into poly? And you say all this extra and just instead of just saying like, hey, I'm not a one woman type of man. You
But
have to
it's
like,
deeper than that. Like, is everything supposed to be like we're just like monkeys and like it's as simple as I'm hungry, I go and get food, or do we have I'm hungry, I go and get food, or do we have frontal lobes? We're much more complex beings than that. The human brain is the most complex computer machine on the planet. Like we're not so simple. Not everything's black and white. So the point is this: like I get that it can be a little bit boring or monotonous, but try to listen to gain perspective. That's the to gain perspective. That's the
you want
only
you.
thing that I'm saying.
I have a quick question. Sean. When do the prefrontal lobes fully form?
I don't know. You know,
2024.
I know 25, but like I know you like to feel smart. So,
But I just think
so
it's
Can I
funny because
ask a
it's still not
question?
as old as Olivia.
yeah. But see, here's the thing: would you consider yourself to be very intelligent? You're in a relationship, correct? Aren't you? Aren't you the same age as Olivia? So you can make an educated decision about your relationship and what you want to be in, but Olivia can't. Exactly my
Same
point.
ages. My man is the
You make
same age as
you
me. We
make
can
but you
make
make no
decisions.
sense. It does the age doesn't matter. The emotional maturity matters. The mental
Age does
maturity
matter a
matters.
little,
Age
though.
does not
Does
matter.
matter because
It
we are
does
Here's
in a
another
matter
question,
con-
Sean.
All right.
Here's another
just
question,
answer the
Sean.
Wait, I
question.
think
Just answer
Stephanie
the
has a
question.
question.
All right.
I was
Go,
gonna
Stephanie.
ask, whose idea was it to like start like going on live altogether?
That was TikTok Live was definitely Olivia. To do it every day was me.
And do you guys see like as far as the future, like do you guys have other plans, or do you think like you'll continue
Oh,
to do like lives?
yeah, we got some big plans. I don't want to speak too much on it, but you guys would be surprised at some of the things that we're like projects we're working on.
Okay. One more question. Why do you feel like so many people like tune into you guys?
Because it's very controversial, very complex. And to be completely honest with you, like we're pretty squared away. Like we're not like perfect, but like we are very different and very unique. I think that Olivia is in the definitely the top 10% of all beauty. I think Shanice is in the top percent of all beauty when it comes to women. I think that the things that I claim to achieve because people, don't believe me or whatnot, or something that like 99% of people, well, I wouldn't say 99, but 95% of the people have not achieved. I think that our relationship looks incredibly different. I think we just got a lot of interesting and captivating dynamic. And by the way, I want to say this, like, and I'm not trying to like justify it or anything, but Beyonce and Jay-Z, the number
Can
one
you
power,
mute him, please?
hold on, are 12 years apart.
Well, I have
And
my opinions about
they met, and I'm not trying to say that they started dating, but they met when she was 17 and they began dating when she was 19. And the
But
whole
does
thing
that
is
make
just like,
it right? But does that make it
Yeah,
right?
no one's ever
Yeah.
said the relationship was right. I think the difference is like you're more so promoting it.
I promote what?
Look at how many times Jay-Z's cheated on Beyonce. That don't make it
Exactly
right.
my point.
Your
That proves
relationship
my
is
point.
not
That's
controversial. Your
exactly my point.
relationship answers when people ask you questions because they're curious about your dynamics. That is the only reason why you get so many views, is because your pitiful reactions.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Okay,
I
I have
also
a
just feel
question.
like your relationship isn't
Yo,
like the same as
can we
Jay-Z.
do I get a chance to respond to like these? Because I feel like it's just one person
Yeah.
goes, another goes. Like, what's the order? How are we doing this?
I'm sorry. Okay, I have a question though. So, do you love Olivia and Shanice, or is this relationship strictly out of like trying to build generational wealth or add?
No, I definitely have love. I would never have a woman in my space and around me all day, 24/7, if I didn't have love and affinity towards her.
So
That's
you
crazy.
okay? So you love them?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Okay, so can you answer my first question?
Yes. Let's make sure
So,
nobody else interrupts though, because I
okay,
get
so
lost quick.
why do you think it's okay for you to ask your partner to sacrifice her sexual expressions and freedoms and happiness for yours, as in sacrificing the ability of going and building a relationship with somebody else outside of your guys' dynamic, financially or emotionally, whatever it may be, because it's her freedom?
Makes sense. So would you say that this is like a yes or no answer, or is this like a more complicated, like?
More on your status of, let's say, being a man, being
Yeah.
29, and being
Yeah.
where you are in life.
Yeah. So for me, I feel like there's only one form of payment in the history of the world. And it's not money and it's not energy, like it's sacrifice. And I feel like in order to make your goals and your dreams come true, you have to sacrifice. And to the degree that you're willing to sacrifice is the degree that you will achieve. I mean, God sacrificed his only son to create man in his image to make his dream come true. So I feel like I sacrifice as well. There's a lot of women that I want to sleep with, that I want to do things with, but I don't, because like it's going to distract me from my purpose. So I don't think Shanice is the only one making that sacrifice, personally.
But you're able to go and DM and hit up chicks, but Shanice can't go do the same with either a man or a woman. She can't be landing in DMs. She can't be flirting. She can't be going out on dates.
She can do that if she wanted to
But
be
then
with.
she's not with you.
Yeah, if she wanted. Yeah. Mhm.
Exactly.
So
That's my
I guess
point.
people want to know why it's a double standard. Why can you be polygamist and she cannot?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, here's the thing. I get where you guys are coming from, but like Shanice wants to be with me, like first and foremost. That's like what's important to her. So my point is, like, if that's what she wants and that's what she wants, why do you guys have an issue with two grown people coming up with an agreement that works best for them?
My
Most of
issue
the time,
issue with it.
most of
My
the time
issue-
it's hold on. The most of the time it's not an agreement, it's influence. The same way with her king response. You influenced her to change her answer, to give a different opinion.
Okay.
My issue
So let me
before you
hold on. Do I
continue,
get
Let
to
Rhea
I want you to
finish. Let Rhea
before-
finish and then we'll let you speak.
Well, just make it clear on the order, because like people are just bopping around. So go ahead.
So my thing is, I lost my train of thought. So go on, Sean.
All right. So Shanice has hundreds of thousands, or a few hundred, 100,000 and something thousand followers. She gets a lot of attention. Do you think that she doesn't get guys and girls in her DMs? Like, if she wanted to be in a different type of relationship with somebody else, don't you think that she has a lot of opportunity to do that?
I just
We
think
wouldn't know.
she knows that you wouldn't agree with it. Like you wouldn't like it.
But what does that have to do with me? Like, if she didn't want it, then she wouldn't be
My
here.
point
Like,
came
that's what
back.
she
But
agreed to.
didn't she think that Olivia was going to come into or her next woman? Like, didn't you say that you guys would speak about like bringing a woman in who liked both men and women?
Yes.
My point came back. So my point is, you both had the intention of finding another female that was bisexual. That was your guys' original plan.
Initially.
Then you met Olivia while Shanice was on deployment. You failed to include that you were in a relationship, apparently, because you were afraid that you didn't want to fail. Correct?
No, that is incorrect.
Okay, correct me on that. What was the answer?
Olivia knew about Shanice's purpose in my life.
I'm going to let Rhea finish speaking because I have a different conversation to hold with you.
My thing is you guys had an original plan of going in and finding females that were bisexual.
Yes.
So she
I
can be
agree
a
with
part of
that.
it. You met Olivia,
So,
plans
yes.
changed. So then how were you able to stand there to somebody that you already had an agreement with and change it up and
Yeah,
had no
because
problem continuing moving forward?
yeah, this is a great question. And the most powerful thing that a human has is their ability to change their mind. And to me, I personally feel like getting with a woman just that's primarily based off of sex is very immoral. And I also feel like it's very low vibrational. If I have the skills, if I have the ability to empower somebody, and if I have us coming together can like positively impact hundreds of thousands of people around the world and maybe even millions, why would I not do that?
But do you think that Shanice has to sacrifice like her sexuality because of you not bringing in a woman who is bisexual, or is she okay with that?
I think that as long as Shanice sticks in this, like, her sex life will be crazier than anything she could have ever imagined. Me personally, and I feel like sacrifice is necessary to achieve any goal in life. So, I'm always going to be about my mission. I'm never going to be a woman's never going to be first in my life. My mission is first. So again, I don't care to be liked. I care about being authentic. Like I care about like helping people all over the world.
Okay,
That's always going to be number one. Not what a woman wants to do.
so I have a question. So I know you
Yeah.
said like at first y'all agreed that you would bring someone in that was for Shanice, and then you ended up changing it. So do you think like Shanice, the new dynamic is something that Shanice really wants, or she's just sticking to it out of her love for you?
Yeah, to be completely transparent, I feel like it's not something that she's necessarily agreeing with. I don't feel like she's embraced it as much as I want her to, but
Okay.
I definitely don't feel like she is like against it in any way, like at all.
Okay, but I think by someone telling you, hey, I'm not really comfortable with this situation, if you love someone enough, you would drop it if it makes them uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's how
If you know
Yeah, that's how women
women work.
that's how women
Hold on.
that's how women think. But like to be honest with you, as soon as a man starts to like make his decisions about pleasing a woman rather than focusing on like a mission and like focusing on the path that like a higher power put him on is his downfall. Can y'all mute y'all mics? It's like a bad echo.
Yeah.
All right,
And
so
that's
with that
fine,
being,
but that's how
hold on. With that being said, King,
intellectual debates
King.
require one statement and
All
then
right,
a response.
all right. Well,
I
like,
don't
yeah,
think
I was trying
that's
to
the
get
case.
you guys to like mute your guys' mic. So,
Okay, so
with that being said, King Solomon had 300 wives. He had 700 concubines. And when he died, the Lord told him that, hey, I actually wanted to give you more wives, but you disobeyed me. And where he messed up and where he slipped up is that he actually started to add queens, and he started listening to one of his queens and adding to his kingdom based off of reasons that didn't align with the Lord. He was actually listening to his queen when it came to acquiring new queens. And like that disobeyed the word of God because he just was doing it for the wrong reason. It wasn't mission oriented. And when he died, the Lord told him, I wanted to give you more queens, but you disobeyed me. So I personally feel like, whether you believe in the Bible or not, I feel like we can all learn from like the stories and the principles. I think that a man should focus on his mission, not trying to please his woman. A woman is a part of life, but she will never be like the main focus of my life. I love Shanice. I appreciate Shanice. I love Olivia. I appreciate Olivia, but I will never sacrifice my mission to make them happy ever.
And that's fine, but that's how you lose. I think there is a prophecy about men listening to women. I don't know the Bible as well as you do. I know you're starting to pick it up now that Olivia's dad is reading scripture and stuff, but you also have to listen. It's not just black and white, Sean. If you want respect from Shanice, you have to give her some back. It's one thing to call her beautiful, and it's another thing to respect her wishes.
Yeah.
And
Her,
I'm not even
her,
saying about sexual interactions. I'm talking about having a relationship with somebody, anybody, like a
yeah,
female or a male.
yeah.
Because yes, she is bisexual. Okay. But I'm not just speaking about physical interactions. I'm talking about having a connection with somebody that could also be beneficial financially or whatever her mission is.
Yeah.
That you're probably not part of or don't want to be part of because
Well,
that's
that
not your
doesn't.
direction.
Yeah. That make them. I feel you, but to me, I feel like in any relationship there has to be a leader, and involving another guy or whatever. Like, it does not make sense for me to be involved with somebody who's involved with somebody else, and I'm not like the leader in that situation, because then it's just going to be unnecessary drama, unnecessary problems that I have no influence over, but it's going to influence me. Why do we have? Can we mute everybody up? So to me, that just doesn't make sense. That's not how I want to do those relationships. There has to be a leader in a relationship, and in my relationships I prefer to be the leader. So that's just the way that I like, and I think most women want a strong leader personally.
And that's
Okay, I
fine.
have another question. Sorry. In terms of generational wealth, because I know that's kind of the point. Is it like wealth that y'all are building wealth together, but if tomorrow one of them decided to leave, are they leaving with their part of the wealth? Like, how's that
Yeah,
working?
so we would obviously, do like talk about buyout clauses, and that's stuff that we can get more like clarity on, and stuff
Okay.
like that. But I would want them to be set up for like life, like when it comes to that. Like, I want any woman to get nourishment. Like right now, Shanice has a tremendous platform. The supporters, they love her. So if she was to launch a business, it'd be so easy for her to, like, one, help a lot of people, and when you help a lot of people, you tend to make a lot of money. So I definitely think she's benefiting, right? She can leave. Her followers are not just gonna like leave her, So I think that's super tremendous. But yeah, of course, of course, of course, of course.
Why do you feel like Shanice has a bigger audience than Olivia, or like
I don't.
supporters?
I disagree with that.
So do you feel that Shanice doesn't have more supporters than Olivia? Because I always see like more negative comments towards Olivia than Shanice.
Yeah, well, haters are just confused supporters.
So what my question is, I'm gonna go to my question. Why did you feel it was appropriate to yell at Olivia and pull her into the back room yesterday when she added a man to the live?
I yelled at her. What did I say?
We don't know. You pulled her off camera and you were.
Wait, let me get this straight. I yelled at her, but she didn't hear what I said.
You didn't yell, but you seemed really upset. Like you were.
Okay.
You yelled when you were whispering in her ear about her God comment. Body language doesn't lie, Sean. We understand.
But okay. I thought yelling was being like talking at a very, 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 very high audible decibel, however you want to say that, elevated like level of like noise. So if
Haley, can I re-ask that question?
Yes.
Okay, so why did your personality, your body language switch up when Olivia chose a male?
Yeah. So unfortunately, I don't know about any of that, right? Because we had a male on earlier that day. If you saw me on live, I went on Kev's live. Like, I talked to plenty. Hold on, I talked to plenty of guys. Yeah, no, I wouldn't call him a friend. It's somebody I definitely knew. But I digress. Unfortunately, but we have a life outside of lives, believe it or not, outside of social media. And I got some really devastating news. It's not really like an excuse, but, I don't really want to talk on to that because, like, I've seen the destructive side of TikTok, and like they just go and like do some crazy, crazy stuff. But let's just say I got some really devastating news. And so it just kind of like hit me like a ton of bricks.
It just kind of looked like he was in the other room for some reason. I don't know. I think it was like the wall or something.
Maybe because he's in like the same city. So, but yeah, that's pretty much that. Anybody else have any questions?
Everybody in the comments wants me to switch around the panel, and I'm not going to because they're the people that were with me when I had 2 views, and now they're here with 6.6K just because Sean is here. So that's not what we're going to do. We're going to keep the people who originally had questions. Rhea had a lot to do with polygamy, and that's just her own story. If you share it, that's fine. But it goes back to the science question I asked you, Sean, with the 2% fail rate. It doesn't work. And for you to keep promoting it, it seems very negative the way you're treating it.
What I came in with this polyamory discussion is my uneasy feeling is the fact that you admitted that you switched up your direction or your mission on finding women to be part
Yeah.
of your relationship, which
Yes.
gives me the impression of what next are you going to switch up on, Shanice?
Yes.
And that just basically gives me the it gives me that trigger. It gives me the trigger that Shanice really just has to ride or die with you, just has to trust you regardless if you basically say jump off the cliff. She's going to jump off because she believes you. And I get that. I'm 34 years old. I'm looking at you guys because you guys are 5 years younger than me. And you're dating a 20-year-old that's basically looking up to you. And she's looking up to you like she is like basically a father figure, a masculine figure, a dominant figure. And I know she's smart. I don't know her personally, but what I'm seeing, she's a smart individual that basically can carry on her own. But the things that she has not done based on experience of age, like apply for an apartment, apply for a house, she's not done. Okay. And you're not giving her that experience. So that's why a lot of people are just like, we're looking at you. Yeah. We're like, what are you doing? You should know better at a 29-year-old. Yeah. At least present yourself in a way where you're like, I'm a man. I made mistakes. When people come up, instead of just getting upset, saying, all right, this is what happened, this and this and this and this, and then move on with your day. Don't get upset and beat around the bush, or at least get upset, turn off, because that makes you look like a bad image. I mean, right now, you say, Google up your name, everything's about you, a scam, fraud, this and this and this. It doesn't look good on your name, dude.
Listen. And
I'm just telling you,
none of those, hold on. None of those people have ever like done business with me. So like, it's like so obvious. Like, if you don't think that I'm legit when I have, again, never tried to sell anything, you can't find a course of mine online for sale because I don't even do that. I get people tremendous results and I tag them. I'm like,
oop.